Çok güzel. Şöyle gel Selam. Şuradan şöyle bir al. Omuzu...
Wolves remain a terrifying nightmare in Wyoming's wilderness, spreading fear among sheep ranches. Each brutal attack costs farmers $250, pushing them into despair. Nationwide, the economic damage from these massacres exceeds $35 million annually. Over 50,000 people have taken to the streets, raising banners, urging the government to take decisive action to stop this menace. Leave comment number 1 to explore how farmers are confronting this nightmare. As night falls, wolves silently unleash their deadly strikes. In just a few hours, a Wyoming ranch descends into chaos, with damages reaching $70,000 and nearly 20% of the sheep herd injured or killed. The ruthless raid not only tears through livestock, but also threatens the livelihoods of families dependent on the ranch. Increasingly bold nighttime attacks are forcing farmers to make painful decisions to curb the conflict between humans and predators. As wolves encroach further into human territory, the government is compelled to roll out stringent control programs. The hunter's journey begins with rigorous hunter safety training, a 10 to 15-hour online course granting them a license for each hunt. Every U.S. state enforces its own regulations, requiring specific wolf hunting permits. Non-resident permits range from $75 to $350, depending on the locale. Violations can lead to hunting bans, license revocation, or confiscation. In 2023, over 4,000 hunters were banned nationwide for non-compliance. Hunting near residential areas or without a valid tag can result in hefty, unforgiving fines. To earn a hunting license, hunters must pass a grueling selection process. At Wyoming's WMS Firearms Training Center, they wield precision Browning rifles, testing Winchester scopes at distances up to 800 yards. The event is a test of marksmanship, from weapon assembly and breath control to target tracking. Each shot proves their accuracy and patience, preparing them for the deadly challenges in the field. The training kicks off with small-caliber firearms like .223 and .22 LR, allowing hunters to hone basic skills before advancing to larger, high-recoil rifles. This process sharpens accuracy and weapon control, critical for safe hunting. Before setting foot in the field, hunters must conquer intensive training designed to forge them into elite hunting warriors. Would you try wolf hunting with a rifle? If yes, leave comment number 2. If no, leave number 5. In Wyoming's rugged terrain, trainees face a grueling 48-hour trial simulating real wolf hunting conditions. They endure freezing nights, elevations above 3,000 feet, and slick, snow-covered landscapes. Only 25% pass, mastering challenges like hitting targets over 200 yards or crossing treacherous ravines. Failure means elimination, ensuring only the most skilled, ethical, and resilient hunters earn licenses, embodying the spirit of responsible hunting. With finely honed tracking skills, the hunt becomes a breathless pursuit. Tension peaks as hunters take down their first 2 wolves of the day, marking a dramatic start to the season. But the journey is far from easy. The rugged terrain, riddled with deep pits and hidden rocks, can halt even the toughest off-road vehicles, thrusting hunters into perilous situations where every step is a gamble with fate. In Wyoming's brutal wilderness, teamwork is a vital shield. For safety and efficiency, at least 3 hunters must stand together, facing nature's unrelenting wrath. The air bites like a blade as they approach a wolf den, hearts pounding. A sudden movement, and a gunshot shatters the silence. With razor-sharp reflexes and deadly precision, the hunters take down their target. Minutes later, victory is theirs, the den silent once more. As summer arrives, warm sunlight aids authorities in curbing the wolf threat more effectively. Armed with a howling simulator, hunters hold their breath in silence, awaiting the perfect moment. The cunning and cautious wolves are lured closer, despite the risk of detection. A perfect shot. From 200 yards, a hunter takes down the pack leader, then swiftly drops another at close range. This method has been a game changer, reducing wolf populations by 25 to 35% in Wyoming's targeted areas, offering hope to ranching communities. Each shot is not just a victory, but a step toward restoring balance. The heart of the hunt isn't reckless killing, but selective control. The success of wolf hunting in Wyoming has sparked hope for sheep ranchers, helping them regain economic stability. Hunters, like silent heroes, carry out their mission with responsibility, strictly adhering to ethical and conservation standards. Each hunting report is a piece of the puzzle, aiding wildlife management and maintaining a balanced ecosystem, safeguarding the environment for all species and future generations. After each hunt, a wolf's pelt tells its own story. Meticulously processed by hunters, the fur undergoes thorough cleaning and preparation before reaching the prestigious auction floors of the North American Fur Auctions, NAFA, in Wyoming. Here, wolf pelts are rigorously graded by quality. Vibrant, thick, light-colored highline pelts from Wyoming can fetch $80, while lesser ones go for just $15. Each pelt is not only a trophy, but also a testament to the hunter's skill and patience. Revenue from these auctions fuels wildlife management and conservation efforts like lifeblood. Identifying genuine wolf fur requires a keen eye. Authentic wolf pelts have 3 distinct layers: long black guard hairs to withstand harsh weather, thick gray underfur for insulation, and a soft middle layer hugging the body. These traits not only make wolf fur a prized treasure, but also a key to the species' survival in brutal cold, highlighting its value in both nature and commerce. The wolf hunt has taken us through Wyoming's rugged plains, where ranchers face predators, to the icy peaks of the Rockies, where wolves hunt with chilling cunning. Yet the big question lingers: how can humans balance nature's preservation with protecting livelihoods? What do you think about women's roles in hunting or how we manage wildlife? Leave a comment, like if this story excites you, and share to spread this thrilling journey. East Africa, particularly Kenya and Tanzania, is considered an ideal habitat for rhinos due to its diverse environments and rich ecosystems. National parks like Serengeti and Masai Mara offer vast grasslands, open woodlands, and wetlands, creating favorable conditions for rhinos to thrive. With a tropical climate and abundant food sources, rhinos can easily find their favorite grasses and leaves. Join us in exploring this fascinating species, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates. The rhino population in East Africa is estimated at approximately 15,000 to 17,000 white rhinos and 4,000 to 5,000 black rhinos still surviving. Regarding their consumption, rhinos primarily eat grass, leaves, and other plants. A single rhino can consume between 40 to 80 kilos of vegetation daily, depending on the species and environmental conditions. However, if the rhino population grows too rapidly without management, it could put pressure on food resources, impacting other species in the ecosystem. The invasive potential of rhinos is also a noteworthy issue. As their population grows, rhinos may move to new areas in search of food and suitable habitats. However, this expansion can lead to conflicts with humans, particularly when rhinos encroach on agricultural land or residential areas near conservation zones. The presence of rhinos in suburban areas near national parks, though rare, can occur, especially in border regions like those near Masai Mara. This presence can pose dangers to both humans and animals. Rhinos are large, powerful creatures, and when they feel threatened, they can become aggressive, leading to collisions with vehicles or injuries to residents. To address concerns about the impact of rhinos on communities, the governments of some East African countries have permitted controlled hunting, attracting hunters to manage population numbers and protect the species' habitat. This decision was made after thorough assessments of rhino populations to ensure sustainable hunting practices. Do you agree with this approach? If so, like the video. If not, leave the number 5 in the comments. To participate in hunting, hunters must comply with strict requirements to ensure safety, legality, and environmental protection. They need a hunting license from the Wildlife Management Authority, issued after completing intensive training courses on safety, firearm skills, species identification, and legal regulations. Additionally, hunters must adhere to ethical hunting guidelines, ensuring no unnecessary harm to animals or damage to the ecosystem. Some areas also require background checks and health certifications to confirm hunters' physical and mental capabilities. The ideal time for rhino hunting is during the dry season, from June to October, when vegetation is sparse and visibility is clear. During this period, rhinos often gather near water sources like rivers, lakes, or waterholes, making them easier to observe and track. Dry weather not only facilitates easier movement for hunters, but also reduces the risk of slipping or encountering issues due to wet terrain. Clear daylight and moderate temperatures further aid in accurately assessing the rhino's behavior and location. Rhino hunting requires the use of high-precision rifles equipped with specialized ammunition designed to penetrate the animal's thick skin and robust muscle structure. These rifles are typically large-caliber hunting rifles, such as .375 H&H or .4116 Rigby, chosen for their ability to deliver instantaneous lethal impact, minimizing the animal's suffering. Hunters must carefully inspect and calibrate their rifles before each trip to ensure reliability and safety. Additionally, using high-quality scopes enhances accuracy when shooting from long distances. When spotting a rhino, hunters approach cautiously, maintaining a safe distance of 60 to 120 meters to avoid provoking or startling the animal. They must thoroughly analyze environmental factors such as wind direction, terrain, and the presence of other animals in the area to ensure safety for themselves and the hunting group. Before firing, hunters prioritize targeting the heart and lung area, just behind the rhino's shoulder, as this region ensures a quick and humane kill. The decision to shoot is only made when the hunter is confident in the shot angle, and there is no risk of injuring other animals or damaging the surrounding environment. After a successful hunt, the processing procedure must be carried out carefully. Recording information about the rhino, including its age, sex, and health, is essential for research and conservation purposes. Details of the hunt should also be transparently disclosed to build trust within the community, accompanied by campaigns promoting rhino conservation. However, rhino hunting can cause pain and stress, increasing the risk of extinction. Instead, relocating rhinos to sanctuaries or zoos helps people better understand the species. In controlled environments, rhinos receive better care, and scientists can study their behavior, nutrition, and habitat needs. Moreover, this creates opportunities for communities to recognize the importance of rhino conservation and sustainable management strategies without harming the animals. Education and awareness will encourage people to participate in conservation efforts, fostering a sustainable future for rhinos and their ecosystems. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel to stay updated with future videos. Wild boars, massive beasts weighing hundreds of pounds with razor-sharp tusks, devastate crops, ruin farmland, and cause thousands of dollars in damage to farmers. They don't hesitate to attack humans, inflicting fatal wounds and spreading diseases like leptospirosis. A single moment of carelessness could cost you your life. Can we, the hunters, take down this ferocious creature? Comment number 1 to join this thrilling and unpredictable hunt. On this hunt, we brought along well-trained hunting dogs. They weaved through the dense forest near the grasslands, sniffing and tracking every trace of wild boar. Once they spotted the prey, the dogs would drive them out into the open field where there was nowhere to hide. That's when we, the hunters lying in wait, opened fire and took down the panicked, heavy boars as they tried to escape. We moved to a nearby field where wild boars had brazenly ravaged the land. The barking of the hunting dogs startled them, and they immediately charged across the path, heading into the forest to escape. But we were ready, lying in ambush. I hid behind a bush, gripping my rifle tightly. Suddenly, a boar burst from the tall grass right in front of me. I raised my gun and pulled the trigger. The lead boar dropped on the spot. A second one charged forward. I missed my first shot, but the second hit its mark, bringing it down. As I reloaded, my teammate nearby fired in time, taking out the last one. We moved to a vast field where wild boars regularly ravaged local farmers' crops. Our group quickly took positions, ambushing along the field's edge, ready to strike at the right moment. Suddenly, I heard rustling from the forest beside the field. The sound grew louder, closer. I instantly raised my rifle, prepared. But this time, it wasn't just one. An entire herd burst out at once. I aimed quickly and fired repeatedly. 3 shots rang out. 2 boars dropped on the spot, while the rest, panicked, fled back into the forest. At another position, my teammate Mike faced a ferocious herd of wild boars charging straight at him. Mike calmly raised his rifle, aimed carefully, and pulled the trigger. The bullet struck the front leg of the lead boar, causing it to roar in pain. Right after, he fired a second shot at a large boar behind it, but the bullet only grazed its belly, causing minimal damage. The rest of the herd, panicked, fled into the forest. We pressed on, tracking the remaining wild boars hiding among the trees along the field's edge. The loud barking of the hunting dogs in the bushes signaled they'd picked up a trail. Suddenly, a panicked boar burst out. I quickly raised my rifle and fired. It dropped dead in the grass. At another spot, Mike watched intently, trying to predict where the next boar would emerge. His shot hit the mark, taking down the prey instantly, giving it no chance to take another step. We had to hurry and finish off the remaining boars before nightfall. I followed the loud barking of the hunting dogs. As I got closer, I heard rustling in the bushes. Without hesitation, I pulled the trigger. The boar dropped instantly. Just seconds later, another one charged out at high speed. I quickly reloaded, aimed, and fired. The second shot rang out. Another boar fell, with no chance to escape. Near the town of Jasper in rural Arkansas, the annual hunting festival takes place in April and May. It's the time when hunters like us are allowed to target invasive wild boars to control their growing population. Join us now for this thrilling hunting adventure. As soon as we released the hunting dogs and fired the first shot, a large herd of wild boars charged across the path in front of us. It was a prime target our hunting team couldn't afford to miss. We quickly split up, setting up ambushes at different points, knowing the boars would soon scatter when they sensed danger. As predicted, a few broke away from the herd and charged straight toward us. But despite our efforts to shoot quickly, we missed our chance, and they escaped. Quickly chasing the wild boar that had just escaped, I quietly hid behind a tree and waited patiently. The moment it reappeared, I didn't hesitate and pulled the trigger. My target was the lead boar, but unfortunately the shot missed, and it vanished into the forest. However, the miss didn't discourage me. I swiftly pursued and set up an ambush with my teammates. Finally, luck was on our side. With a single shot, the boar dropped instantly and rolled down the slope. Just seconds later, another gunshot rang out. My friend had taken down another massive boar. A proud victory, proof of our relentless spirit. The dry leaves on the ground crunched with every movement of the wild boars, betraying their presence. We quickly locked onto our target. As the sounds grew louder, we knew it was time to fire. Though the wounded boar kept running, we knew it would soon tire out. At another spot in the forest, John spotted a tempting group of targets. As they charged through, he didn't hesitate and opened fire. Caught in the barrage, one boar couldn't dodge, took a hit, and fell in the wild forest. The strongest and largest wild boars are always our top targets. With their destructive power and rapid reproduction, they're a threat we can't underestimate. That's why our entire team remains determined, relentlessly tracking and taking them down to protect the ecological balance of this area. Through the camouflage, I spotted a wild boar moving, but this one was cunning, always alert, and seemed to catch our scent, suddenly speeding up. I didn't miss my chance and fired immediately. After a rapid series of shots, the boar was finally brought down. The sky grew overcast, and a few raindrops began to fall, so we decided to pack up and head back. Suddenly, a signal came from the vehicle ahead. Our teammates had spotted a herd of boars about to cross the road. Without hesitation, we jumped out of the truck. 2 shots rang out, and to our surprise, both hit their mark. The team couldn't hide their excitement, proud of today's brilliant success. Wild boars are growing fiercer and more stubborn. With their razor-sharp tusks, they devastate land and destroy crops that farmers have painstakingly tended. They lurk deep in the forests, challenging any pursuer. But who will stop these monsters? It's us, the hunters brave enough to face the danger. A single moment of carelessness could cost you dearly. How will this hunt end? Do you have the courage to join me and take down the prey? Fully equipped, we were ready to venture deep into the forest. These cunning beasts never appear predictably, but we were prepared to face them, even in the darkness of the woods. We began tracking the wild boar's trail. While carefully scanning each bush to pinpoint the prey's direction, a boar suddenly charged into view. Without hesitation, I raised my rifle, aimed, and adjusted for its path. The shot rang out. The bullet hit its mark. The boar collapsed, unable to take another step. We swiftly moved to another spot where rustling sounds had just erupted from deep in the bushes. At that moment, a panicked wild boar charged out. I immediately raised my rifle, aimed at its body, and pulled the trigger without delay. The bullet struck true, piercing the beast. It staggered, then collapsed. We pressed on, following the remaining boar tracks. Suddenly, another frantic boar charged straight at me. I quickly raised my gun, tracking its path. When it was just meters away, I fired. The first shot hit its leg, causing it to stumble, but it kept running. I wouldn't let it escape. I fired a second shot. The gunshot echoed through the forest, and this time the boar fell completely, with no chance of getting away. The loud barking of the hunting dogs echoed, and I immediately moved toward the sound. As I got closer, I heard the distinct grunt of a wild boar from the bushes. Gripping my rifle tightly, I was ready to confront it. A dark shadow darted through the foliage, the lead boar. Without hesitation, I raised my gun, aimed straight, and pulled the trigger. It dropped instantly. The herd panicked, scattering in all directions. I quickly turned, fired at another boar, and brought it down on the spot. Seizing the moment, I aimed at the fleeing ones and fired twice more. But both shots missed. They were running too fast. Suddenly, a boar darted between the trees, racing through the forest. I immediately raised my rifle, loaded a round, steadied myself, and aimed carefully. As it drew near, I pulled the trigger. The gunshot echoed through the woods. The boar was hit and fell instantly, with no chance to escape. We picked up the pace, determined to take down the remaining boars. The hunt had to end before nightfall engulfed us. The moment I spotted a shadow ahead, I took cover, gripped my rifle tightly, eyes locked on the target, waiting for the perfect moment. As it charged past, I raised my gun and fired. The bullet struck its body, dropping it on the spot. This hunt was a victory, protecting the land and crops from the destruction caused by wild boars. But for hunters like us, the story never ends here. Do you have any methods to tackle this issue more effectively? If so, share them below. If not, leave a 5. According to recent statistics, the wild boar population in Arkansas has surged 20-fold since 1970, from about 50,000 to over 1 million by 2023. Despite the reintroduction of natural predators like wolves and bobcats, the boar population continues to grow due to a lack of sufficient natural hunters to control them. This situation has become a serious concern, prompting action from not only the authorities but also hunters like us. The morning air was still fresh, mingling with the scent of forest soil and moisture from last night's rain. As soon as we stepped out of the vehicle, our hunting team split into small groups, each taking a strategic position. With the help of the hunting dogs, we quickly identified our first target. Rifle in hand, the moment the wild boar charged, I took it down instantly with a single decisive shot. The growling and barking of the dogs led us straight to the target. The pack had surrounded a boar. Spotting a gap, it bolted. From about 50 meters, I peered through the scope, took a deep breath. When the crosshairs aligned perfectly, I pulled the trigger. But this boar was tough. It took 3 more shots to bring it down. My teammates kept firing, each shot precise, taking down the boars one by one. This hunt was truly intense and thrilling. Led by seasoned hunters, I was quickly positioned at a key spot to encircle the target. The hunting dogs, refreshed after a night's rest, sprang into action. They drove the prey toward us. When a boar burst from the bushes, Lucas didn't hesitate, firing immediately. With a single shot, the boar dropped amid the smoke. A perfect takedown. Less than a few minutes later, another charged across the dirt path. One clean shot ensured it had no chance to escape or fight back. As we ventured deeper into the forest, the air grew heavy with tension and anticipation. I stood still, holding my breath, scanning every movement in the dense undergrowth. Suddenly, a dark shadow darted from the trees on the right. Dawson fired. The boar collapsed heavily, its final breath echoing like the end of the chase. Before I could relax, Lucas signaled. After scouting the terrain ahead, I quickly moved down a narrow forest path, rifle at the ready.
Saldırsaydın ya bir.
With wild boars, any bush along the path could conceal an ambush, so I stayed on high alert. Just seconds later, a boar charged from the underbrush. Instinctively, I raised my rifle, aimed quickly, and pulled the trigger. The boar dropped instantly, a solid comeback after the frustration of an earlier miss. Meanwhile, less than 400 meters away, Lucas faced another boar. When danger strikes, boars don't strategize their path, they just charge until they escape. Lucas anticipated this. He waited at the edge of a path leading into the forest. As the boar barreled through, a sudden shot rang out. A perfect shot ended its flight. It's been a while since I returned to rural Arkansas, where my grandfather still lives. Last week, he proudly sent me photos of his lush garden, but now, over the phone, his voice was heavy with grief as he described how everything was destroyed. Wild boars had stormed through, trampling the entire farm. My aging grandfather could only watch helplessly. I couldn't let this go on. So I called a few close friends in the area and decided to organize a hunt to settle this score. With my trusty rifle slung over my shoulder, I quietly ventured into the forest alongside a few reliable friends, while the others fanned out to surround the area as planned. The crunch of dry leaves underfoot guided us to our ambush point, where we held our breath, waiting for the right moment. After about 15 minutes of tracking, the hunting dogs seemed to have found a target, and I heard the excited shouts of my teammates. A lone boar appeared. Without hesitation, I pulled the trigger. The boar collapsed onto the grass, but I stayed cautious, firing a few more shots to ensure it was fully down.
Hadi abi, hadi bakalım. Çok güzel. Çabuk arabaya.
Our presence in the forest seemed to stir a primal fear in the wild boar herd. They panicked and bolted toward a nearby meadow, desperate to escape at all costs. But with our carefully planned encirclement, we didn't let them slip away easily. Gunshots rang out relentlessly from my teammates, a merciless farewell to the cunning, ferocious beasts. In the stillness of the forest, I patiently waited for the enemy to appear. 10 minutes passed, then 15. Everything outside remained eerily quiet. Then, suddenly, a shape emerged through the trees. It moved swiftly, so I didn't hesitate and fired. Unfortunately, the boar was too fast, vanishing into the distant forest before my shot could hit its mark. Silence enveloped the forest for the next half hour, until the final boar's footsteps shattered the stillness. With everyone on high alert, ready to fire at any moment, a teammate delivered a lethal shot. The boar dropped instantly onto the dry leaves in the ancient forest. As for me, after moving to a new position, I quickly hid behind camouflage, waiting patiently in silence, listening closely. Strange sounds were approaching. It was a herd of boars. Without hesitation, I gently squeezed the trigger. A rapid series of shots followed. Fortunately, 3 hit their mark, taking down the target immediately.
Çok güzel. Şöyle gel Selam, şuradan şöyle bir al.
In an instant, dusk was approaching, the time when wild boars are most active. So, we seized the opportunity. Just as the thought crossed my mind, a boar suddenly charged. I didn't panic or hesitate, swiftly raising my rifle and dropping it cleanly with a single shot. The boar collapsed immediately. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Please support our channel with a like and subscribe. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.
Hey there. Ready to jump into an exciting adventure deep in Florida's wilderness? Gunshots ring out through thick forests as hunters track an invasive species creeping into suburban neighborhoods. How did these creatures cross urban lines? Can the hunters protect their homes while keeping the ecosystem balanced? Watch the video and drop comment number 1 to uncover the surprising twist behind this invasive species in Florida. In the early winter morning, we set out in the biting cold, heading toward the foothills in our trusty vehicle. This time, our well-trained hunting dogs joined us, skilled at tracking and chasing wild boars hidden in the misty, rugged terrain. As soon as we arrived, we swiftly moved to our pre-planned hunting spot. 5 minutes later, the fierce barking of the dogs echoed through the frigid air. We immediately advanced toward the sound. As we reached the spot, a massive wild boar burst from the snow-covered brush, desperately trying to escape the relentless pack of dogs hot on its trail. The moment it crashed through the brittle branches, I didn't hesitate and pulled the trigger. The boar dropped instantly on the frozen ground, no chance of escape. 15 minutes passed in the eerie silence of winter. Suddenly, the dog's barking erupted again from deep within the misty forest. They'd surely caught the scent of another boar. The sound grew closer. I quickly focused, pinpointing the target. There it was, charging out from the dense thicket. I aligned my rifle with its movement and fired. With a deafening shot, the boar collapsed onto the dry leaves, motionless. After the precise shot, we climbed the icy, slippery slope. Once again, the dog's barking echoed from the brush below. We cautiously scouted the area. Suddenly, a wild boar charged straight up its breath, forming white clouds in the frigid air. I didn't hesitate and pulled the trigger. The decisive shot dropped the boar motionless on the thin snow, no chance to flee. At the base of the hill, our blocking team was ready. They closed in on a boar trying to hide in the thicket. Under intense pressure, it bolted out. Lucas raised his rifle, locked on, and took it down instantly in the biting wind. Soon enough, we spotted the next target, a wild boar flush from its hiding spot among leafless trees by the relentless hounds. I quickly tracked its path through the fog, aimed and fired. The gunshot echoed across the icy valley. The boar collapsed motionless on the frozen ground. A teammate signaled that one had escaped, so we used our phones to pinpoint its direction. The dog's barking erupted again from the nearby forest. The boar was on the run. I raised my rifle, aimed through the mist, and pulled the trigger. On the way down the mountain, my hunting dog suddenly barked loudly in the biting cold. It had surely detected a nearby wild boar. After a brief chase across the snowy ground, the boar burst out, unaware of the ambush waiting. With a single shot, it was stopped dead on the icy slope. Once again, we swiftly neutralized the threat to the farmers in the harsh winter. At my uncle's ranch in Texas, a herd of wild boars wreaked havoc. Despite being a seasoned hunter, their sheer numbers and boldness overwhelmed him. With no other choice, he called our hunting team for backup. After finalizing the plan, we launched the hunt right from the skies above the ranch. To lure the boars, we dropped bags of feed from the plane onto the ground. Drawn by the scent, the hogs quickly emerged from the brush, eagerly scavenging for every scrap of food. As they let their guard down, Maris from the gunner's seat on the helicopter calmly locked onto a target through the scope and fired. A precise shot took down the boar with astonishing confidence and accuracy. Meanwhile, my friend Inda and I from another aircraft spotted a few hogs lurking in the field below. I adjusted my rifle's angle, aimed at the target, and pulled the trigger. The bullet from my rifle struck the boar's body. In panic, it let out a sharp squeal before collapsing. It wasn't a grand victory, but the thrill was incredible and left me exhilarated. With the power and vantage point from above, we split up to cover different areas, maximizing our chances. Each shooter stayed razor-focused, aiming carefully and taking swift, decisive shots. The mission was to take down as many boars as possible before nightfall. The next afternoon, we resumed the hunt over the ranch's airspace. Right after takeoff, we spotted a sizable group of mature wild boars. They were gathered under the tree canopy, cautiously looking up. I quickly lined up one in my scope and fired. One shot and one dropped instantly. The baiting tactic not only keeps bears in view, but also gives hunters the advantage to line up a perfect shot. The scent spreads, causing some bears to leave, but drawing others back and creating an effective hunting cycle. Only hunters aged 16 and older are allowed to participate, and thanks to this strategy, over 200 nuisance bears were removed in the first 3 years, easing pressure on residential neighborhoods. Deep in Blackwater National Forest, where bear hunting became legal in 2015, the dense woods hum with hidden movements. A black bear weighing between 200 and 350 pounds moves with raw power. From a tree stand, the hunter draws the bowstring eyes fixed on the massive figure slipping through the brush. With its sturdy build and broad shoulders, the bear is both majestic and cautious, a true symbol of wild strength. As the distance closes, the hunter's heart races months of preparation leading to one decisive moment, one arrow. Why is bait so important when hunting bears with a bow? It turns a fixed spot into a magnet, drawing bears back and saving hunters hours of tracking. The scent triggers the bear's foraging instincts, but hunters must stay alert. Bears can climb trees to feed or escape. That's why tree stands need to be at least 100 yards from the bait to avoid being detected by the bear's sharp sense of smell. But why do hunters sometimes mistake a bear's color? Florida black bears aren't Switching from the finesse of bow hunting to the raw power of firearms, bear hunting in North Florida moves at a faster, more intense pace. Hunts are strictly regulated to protect the ecosystem, allowing only mature large solitary bears to be targeted while banning the hunting of pregnant or nursing females. The subtropical climate with wet summers and mild winters makes tracking bears across slippery terrain even more challenging. Every hunt is a story of skill, responsibility, and deep. Florida's bear hunting season, running from mid-October to late November, truly tests hunters as they navigate dense forests and wetlands with patience and skill. Equipped with waterproof gear, they stay dry and prepared to tackle the swamps. After each hunt, the work continues. Hunters carefully collect every usable part of the animal, showing respect for Florida's fragile ecosystem and honoring the life taken. Thanks for watching the video all the way through. Please support our channel by liking and subscribing. Goodbye and see you in the next video.
It's really thin.
savage, powerful, and unyielding wild boars are fierce creatures, armed with razor-sharp tusks and immense strength capable of wrecking crops in mere moments. Their aggression is matched only by their cunning as they slink through tight spaces, poised to charge when threatened, sending waves of fear through farmers. We cannot let them destroy any more. It's time for us, the hunters, to step up. How do we bring down these beasts? Share your thoughts below and join the hunt in this exciting challenge. In the crisp winter morning, we ventured into the chill, making our way toward the foothills in our reliable vehicle. This time, our loyal hunting dogs were with us, expertly trained to track and pursue wild boars concealed in the misty, rough landscape. Upon arrival, we quickly made our way to our designated hunting location. Just 5 minutes later, the sharp, urgent barking of the dogs cut through the icy air. Without hesitation, we pressed forward toward the sound.
Nice, easy, squeeze right behind the shoulder.
As we reached our location, a colossal wild boar erupted from the snow-covered underbrush, desperately attempting to outrun the relentless pack of dogs chasing it down. The moment it crashed through the brittle branches, I didn't hesitate and squeezed the trigger. The boar fell instantly to the frozen earth, no chance of escape. 15 minutes passed in the haunting stillness of winter. Then the dogs' barking pierced the silence again, coming from deep within the misty forest. They had surely picked up the scent of another boar. After the precise shot, we carefully ascended the icy, treacherous slope. Once again, the dogs' barking echoed from the brush below. We moved with caution, surveying the area. Suddenly, a wild boar came charging straight up the hill, its breath visible in the frigid air. Without a second thought, I fired. The shot was perfect, and the boar collapsed motionless on the thin snow, unable to escape. Using our familiar hunting strategy, we split into two teams. The scouting team went ahead with the dogs to track signs, spot targets, and relay positions. The other team set up an ambush ready to fire the moment the prey appeared. After about 15 minutes, the ambush team received a signal and immediately took position. A small wild boar burst from the dense thicket. Travis, stationed at the choke point, had his rifle raised for the decisive moment. Then a single gunshot rang out. To our surprise, the boar dropped on the spot without a chance to resist. As we made our way down the mountain, my hunting dog suddenly barked sharply in the biting cold. It had clearly spotted a wild boar nearby. After a brief chase across the snowy terrain, the boar erupted from its hiding spot, unaware of the ambush that awaited. With one well-placed shot, it fell motionless on the icy slope. Once again, we swiftly eliminated the threat to the farmers in the harsh winter conditions. At my uncle's ranch in Texas, a herd of wild boars had caused significant damage. Even as a seasoned hunter, the sheer numbers and audacity of the boars were too much for him to handle alone. With no other option, he called for our hunting team to assist. After finalizing the strategy, we initiated the hunt from the skies above the ranch. To attract the boars, we dropped bags of feed from the plain, scattering them across the land. The scent quickly drew the boars from the brush, and they emerged eagerly scurrying to scavenge every last bit of food.
Tamam.
As they relaxed, Maris, positioned in the gunner's seat of the helicopter, smoothly locked onto the target through the scope and took the shot. With remarkable precision and confidence, the boar went down. Meanwhile, my friend Inda and I, flying in a different aircraft, spotted a few hogs in the field below. I adjusted my rifle's angle, aimed, and fired. The bullet hit the boar and it let out a sharp squeal before collapsing in panic. It wasn't a monumental win, but the With the advantage of height, we split up to cover more ground, increasing our odds. Each shooter remained sharp, taking careful aim and making quick, decisive shots. Our goal was to take out as many boars as possible before nightfall. The following afternoon, we resumed hunting over the ranch. As soon as we took off, we spotted a large We flew toward another designated bait site. The hogs, still oblivious to our presence, were lured by their own insatiable hunger. From a perfect altitude, I steadied my rifle and waited for the right moment. One squeeze of the trigger, a sharp crack, and the boar went down instantly. We continued to drop bait and observe as the sun dipped lower in the sky. In the harsh terrain filled with endless hiding spots, we were lucky to have thermal imaging gear mounted on the aircraft. Once everything was in place, I gave the signal for the pilot to climb along the mountainside. Within minutes, the thermal screen lit up with a large wild boar. Everything went off without a hitch. From the gunner's seat, I locked onto the target and fired. A few hundred meters above the ground, a ping from the thermal imaging system put me on a high alert. It had been a long time since I'd come across a herd of wild boars this big. With my rifle at the ready, I opened fire, sending a burst of rounds flying. At close range, 2 hogs dropped into a patch of mud, their final squeals echoing. As we pushed deeper into the forest, the trees grew thicker, making it tougher to spot and take a clean shot. Thankfully, the thermal gear gave us the edge we needed, making the job much easier. Ahead of me, Devlin suddenly froze. His eyes widened clearly, spotting something unusual. And there it was, a dark shape charging straight at him with terrifying speed, fearless. Devlin didn't flinch. He pulled the trigger without mercy. A burst of bullets dropped the boar instantly. It took us about 10 minutes to reach the ridge. As soon as we arrived, my teammates quickly locked onto the boar's movement patterns. I took position steady and ready, waiting for the perfect moment. There it was, a boar burst out and I fired immediately. A few shots later, it staggered and collapsed to the ground. Driven to scatter by the relentless chase from above, the herd of boars broke apart. I seized the opportunity without hesitation, locked onto one from the gunner's seat and pulled the trigger. My heart raced with pride and adrenaline as I watched the boar collapse in the open field. Moments later, our thermal scanner picked up another target. We moved in low, watching every move.
Ne oldu?
From his aircraft, Eric quickly spotted a herd of wild boars making their way across the hillside. Without missing a beat, he raised his rifle, waited for the perfect moment as one stepped into the open and took the shot. Direct hit. The boar dropped in the field while the rest scattered in a frenzy. Still, we had the prize we were after. Meanwhile, at a different altitude, Hank caught sight of a boar pushing through thick brush. He didn't hesitate. One clean shot and it dropped instantly, tumbling into the... In hilly terrain like this, wild boars often stick to overgrown trails for foraging and movement. By reading the wind and choosing the right spot to drop bait, the odds of landing a clean shot from the air increase significantly. Alongside the aerial shooters, a ground support team also monitors the hogs' movements. Travis received a thermal alert an injured boar was trying to take cover in the brush. Wasting no time, he signaled the pilot to fly in low. Too weak to run, the boar stood no chance. Travis took aim and ended it with one precise shot. Each shooter stayed razor-focused, aiming carefully and taking swift...
Gelsinler var, gelsinler.
Hello, are you ready to dive into a thrilling adventure in the wilds of Florida gunshots? Echo through dense forests as hunters track an invasive species creeping into the suburbs. How did these creatures cross urban boundaries? Can the hunters protect their homes while preserving the delicate balance of the ecosystem? Watch the video and drop comment number 1 to uncover the surprising twists surrounding this invasive species in Florida. Wild boars are becoming more cunning and aggressive. They've lost their fear of humans. Some even wander into fields near neighborhoods at night in search of food. These hunts aren't about collecting trophies. They're about keeping things from getting out of hand. Today's trip to Texas is no exception. We're entering a new pursuit, one where skill-sharp focus and steady determination will make all the difference. Using our usual hunting strategy, we split into two teams. The scouting crew moved ahead with the dogs tracking signs, spotting targets, and relaying locations. Meanwhile, the other team set up an ambush ready to fire as soon as the prey showed up. About 15 minutes later, the ambush team got a signal and quickly took their positions. A small wild boar suddenly burst from the thick To widen the ambush area, we spread out and took positions at various spots. I picked a high hunting blind with a clear, unobstructed view of the calm forest below. Suddenly, another wild boar appeared. It was moving quickly, but I predicted its route and aimed ahead to intercept. With steady focus, I squeezed the trigger. The sharp, swift crack of the shot rang out, dropping the animal within seconds. Hours of tracking. The scent triggers the bear's foraging instincts, but hunters must stay alert. Earlier, our team scouted the area and pinpointed a trail frequently used by wild boars. We set up a fixed ambush and waited patiently. While wild boars don't have the sharp eyesight of deer, they're highly sensitive to movement. Staying completely still was essential. Sure enough, when the boar was only about 6 meters away, it suddenly sensed something was wrong, but it was too late. Without hesitation, Travis fired a clean shot. After the morning ambush, the forest grew eerily quiet. Since we couldn't keep the stakeout going, we moved deeper into the thick brush prime hiding ground for wild boars. Suddenly, a loud rustling came from the bushes to my right. Instinct took over. I raised my rifle, aimed, and fired. Just 2 seconds to react, but enough to bring down the target right in its own turf. That moment of victory was unlike any other, with patience and skill. Equipped with waterproof gear. The scouting team spotted another boar, and our group quickly closed in on the ambush site, spreading out to block every possible escape route. With a well-coordinated circle, the boars stood little chance of getting away. Within just 15 minutes, several were successfully taken down. As the day wound down, the pressure didn't let up, it only grew stronger.
It's really thin.
Travis suddenly spotted a herd of wild boars quietly moving through thick trees. One broke away from the group, darting across a trail, unaware it had entered the kill zone. I didn't hesitate. From the edge of the path, I pulled the trigger. The shot ended its life, instantly wrapping up a long, intense day of hunting in the rugged Texas Panhandle. Anymore, it's time for us, the hunters, to step up. How do we bring down these beasts? Share your thoughts below and join the hunt in this exciting challenge. Whenever wild boars show up, our family's vibrant green fields turn into a barren wasteland. Months of hard work and care vanish in an instant. It's not just us, the entire village faces crop losses because of these aggressive, increasingly clever animals. So when I heard about a local hunt being organized, I couldn't stay on the sidelines. I had to join in. Dogs cut through the icy air. Without hesitation, we pressed forward toward the sound. That afternoon, our hunting team gathered at the mountain's base. Everyone was eager and ready for action. As we moved through a field of tall grass toward the ridge, I suddenly noticed something unusual, a familiar pungent smell and faint rustling in the distance. My instincts kicked in. I raised my rifle, and just as I suspected, a wild boar appeared from afar. I didn't hesitate and pulled the trigger.
He's beautiful. He's big.
Ahead of me, Devlin suddenly froze. His eyes went wide. He'd spotted something unusual. There it was, a dark shape charging straight at him with terrifying speed, fearless. Devlin didn't hesitate. He pulled the trigger without mercy. A burst of bullets dropped the boar instantly. It took us about 10 minutes to reach the ridge. Once there, my teammates quickly locked onto the boar's movement patterns. I took my position steady and ready, waiting for the perfect moment. Then a boar burst out and I fired immediately. After a few shots, it stacked.
You got him there.
As we moved deeper into the forest, the air thickened with tension and anticipation. I stood perfectly still, holding my breath, watching every movement in the dense surroundings. Suddenly, a shadow darted out from the trees to my right. Dawson fired. The boar hit the ground hard, its final breath echoing like the end of a fated chase. Travis, stationed at the choke point, had his rifle raised for the decisive moment. Then a single gunshot rang out. To our surprise, the boar dropped on the spot without a chance to resist. As we made our way down the mountain, my hunting dog suddenly barked sharply.
There we go. You ready?
shifting from the finesse of bow hunting to the raw power of firearms. Bear hunting in North Florida brings a more intense pace. Hunts are tightly regulated to protect the ecosystem, allowing only mature bears, large solitary ones, to be targeted while prohibiting the hunting of pregnant or nursing females. The subtropical climate with wet summers and mild winters heightens the challenge of tracking bears across slippery terrain. Each hunt is a tale of skill, responsibility, and deep respect for the wild. At the same time, less than 400 meters away, Lucas came face to face with another boar. When danger hits, wild boars don't plan their escape, they just charge forward until they break free. Lucas knew this. He waited at the edge of a path leading into the forest. As the boar rushed through, a sudden gunshot cracked. A perfect shot ended its desperate run. A long day wrapped up with plenty of trophies and unforgettable heart-pounding moments. The boars will be back, but today victory was ours. The pronghorn antelope, capable of reaching speeds up to 55 miles per hour, is the second fastest land animal in the world, trailing only the cheetah. What really makes it stand out, though, is its ability to maintain those high speeds over long distances, leaving its competitors far behind. This unique trait makes the pronghorn a fascinating subject for biologists and wildlife enthusiasts. Join us today to uncover the secrets behind the pronghorn antelope's extraordinary speed, unique traits, and thrilling chases across the United States. Don't forget to drop a comment with the number 1 to kick off this adventure now. The pronghorn antelope's remarkable physical features are key to its incredible speed. A wide trachea paired with a heart and lungs that work like a finely tuned engine maximizes oxygen intake and circulation, giving it impressive endurance during high-speed pursuits. Its hooves are a marvel. 2 long cushioned pointed toes absorb shock and improve grip, letting the pronghorn glide smoothly while staying balanced on rough terrain. Gear. Yet it's precisely this speed and agility that make hunting the pronghorn antelope a formidable challenge. Their lightning-fast bursts paired with sudden unpredictable turns make them nearly impossible to catch. Before embarking on a pronghorn antelope hunt, hunters must complete essential requirements to ensure the trip is both legal and ethical. A hunting license is indispensable, proving that you've met all legal conditions. Moreover, understanding state-specific regulations is crucial, as these rules can vary significantly across regions. Regulations cover hunting seasons, bag limits, and approved hunting methods. Strict adherence reflects responsible hunting and helps protect pronghorn antelope populations, ensuring their sustainable development. Selecting the right weapon is crucial for a successful pronghorn antelope hunt. Rifles such as the Remington Model 700 and Winchester Model 70 are popular among hunters for their precision and reliability. When equipped with quality scopes, these rifles become perfect for the long-range shots often needed when the pairing of a powerful rifle and a high magnification scope allows hunters to precisely target pronghorns from 200 to 300 yards, or even farther, ensuring a clean, humane shot. Hunting pronghorn antelope is a real test of skill, requiring finesse, patience, and sharp focus from the hunter. Hunting pronghorn antelope in wide-open terrain is always a tough challenge, mainly because of the unique landscape they roam. Unlike animals that hide in thick forests or rocky mountains, pronghorns rule the vast plains and grasslands. Have you ever dealt with the challenges of hunting in open areas or sudden weather shifts? If yes, drop a comment with the number 1, if not, type 5. Low, watching every move from his aircraft, Eric quickly spotted a Unpredictable weather is another big challenge that can throw off an entire hunt. The open plains where pronghorn antelope live are often hit by strong winds or sudden storms, making hunting even tougher. Today, the pronghorn population in the U.S. is estimated to be around 1.1 million. Altitude This remarkable species thrives across various habitats, especially in states like Wyoming and Montana. Pronghorns adapt exceptionally well to dry grasslands and semi-desert areas, continuing to thrive even in tough conditions. Thanks to controlled hunting programs, the pronghorn antelope population has stayed stable, helping maintain a balanced ecosystem. Do you think there are better solutions? If so, share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting content, and be sure to share this video with friends so you can explore together. Too weak to run. Starting with the pig farming process in the United States, farmers share that they have heavily invested in barn systems, particularly in expansive free-range areas. Pigs are allowed to maximize outdoor activities, which improves their health and supports their natural behavioral development. The barns are designed to optimize space using local and environmentally friendly materials, creating an ideal living environment for the pigs while reducing costs for farmers. Air conditioning and humidity control systems in the barns are carefully invested in helping pigs maintain a balance between indoor and outdoor environments. Allowing pigs to roam freely enhances their physical activity and exposure to natural sunlight, benefiting their physical and mental health. Meanwhile, housing pigs in barns protects them from harsh weather, reduces the risk of disease transmission, and provides a clean, safe resting area. Combining these two methods makes it easier for farmers to maintain barn hygiene. While pigs sunbathe or wallow in mud outdoors, farmers can clean waste and sanitize the barns without disrupting their activities. What do you think about this combination? Comment number 1 if you agree, or share your opinion if you have a different perspective. In addition to the living environment, nutrition is a key factor in determining pork quality. At farms in the United States, farmers adjust feed based on the pig's growth stage, breed, and farming conditions. Pigs are provided with main food groups, green fodder, roughage, and vitamins with minerals. These diverse food groups ensure pigs receive adequate nutrition at each stage of development. In the early stage, pigs are fed green fodder, vitamins, and minerals to develop bones and muscles. During the finishing stage, roughage and additives are increased to promote weight gain and maintain an optimal fat-to-lean ratio. Farmers balance feed amounts based on the needs and capacity of each herd. Most primary feed comes from local agricultural products, helping reduce costs and utilize available resources. I appreciate the benefits of this farming model as well. The combination of free-range and indoor systems paired with tailored nutrition seems to yield impressive results. Pigs reaching 110 to 130 kilos with a balanced 5:5 fat-to-lean ratio in just 5 to 7 months is efficient and ideal for market demands. The use of local feed also makes economic sense, cutting costs while maintaining quality. The price range of 4.5 to 7.8 per pound reflects the market's variability, but it shows the potential profitability for farmers. Comment number 1, as I agree, this is a well-optimized approach for both animal welfare and economic outcomes. Food processing plant workers negotiate with farmers to reach a fair price, then arrange transportation for the pigs to the facility. During this process, workers and farmers handle the pigs gently using assistive tools to load them onto vehicles easily without resorting to harsh methods. Pigs are sorted by size, sex, and weight to ensure safety and health throughout the journey. Each compartment holds from a few to several dozen pigs, with enough space for movement and rest. In food processing plants, the two main humane methods for handling pigs are electrical stunning and CO2 gas. The electrical method places pigs in a conductive system where an electric current passes through the body, quickly inducing unconsciousness and minimizing pain and stress. This method is effective due to its speed and reliability. The second method uses CO2 gas, where pigs are placed in a gas chamber. The CO2 rapidly induces unconsciousness, allowing pigs to lose awareness peacefully without pain or fear. Both methods adhere to humane standards, ensuring maximum safety and comfort for the pigs during processing. In the processing plant, pork division is carried out through a strict process to ensure quality. Pigs are cleaned and hung on rails for easy handling. Each carcass is marked with details such as production date, weight, and quality grade for accurate tracking. Technicians use precise cutting tools to divide the carcass into parts like legs, ribs, and triceps. The division process is carried out systematically to optimize the use of meat and bones. The meat is divided into standard cuts packaged according to weight and market demand. The facility maintains temperatures below 4 degrees to ensure freshness and extend shelf life. Products are inspected, sealed, labeled, and stored in cold storage before being transported in refrigerated trucks to consumers. After division, the pork belly is sent for bacon production, a meticulous process ensuring high quality. Belly cuts are selected for an optimal fat-to-meat ratio, trimmed and shaped uniformly. The meat is cured using a brine solution or dry rubbed with salt, sugar, and spices to enhance flavor and preserve it. I prefer the applewood for its subtle sweet flavor, which complements the pork nicely without overpowering it. The smoking process you described with controlled temperatures of 90 to 130 degrees C ensures the bacon absorbs the smoke evenly while retaining moisture, resulting in a high-quality product. The pressing step for uniform thickness is a great touch for consistent slicing and packaging. Bacon holds a special place in global cuisine, celebrated in traditions and rituals. Rich in protein, B vitamins, phosphorus, selenium, zinc, and iron, bacon offers nutritional benefits, but should be consumed in moderation due to saturated fat and cholesterol. Versatile in preparation, from frying to grilling, bacon enhances many dishes. It can be stored long-term in the refrigerator or freezer. From raw pork to savory bacon, this tradition combines history, nutrition, and innovation. Comment number 1 if you want to explore more about food processing. We welcome your feedback in the comments. The storm devastated hog farms, causing over $1.2 million in damages across Iowa and Nebraska. Record-breaking rainfall flooded barns for hours, trapping thousands of pigs in rising waters. A rescue team of over 60 farmers and emergency workers labored relentlessly for 48 hours, braving dangerous currents to evacuate about 3,500 pigs, though hundreds died or were injured. With barns destroyed and feeding systems ruined, rescue efforts continued in the days that followed, building temporary shelters, providing food, and cleaning contaminated areas to prevent disease. How did these heroic efforts save the remaining livestock? And watch the full agricultural documentary on our channel to witness the dedication of farmers and rescue teams in the face of disaster. After the storm, farms in Iowa and Nebraska undertook disinfection to prevent disease and protect animals and workers. Disinfection began 24 to 48 hours after the water receded, using high-pressure washing, chemical disinfectants, and biosecurity measures. The process, consuming 600 liters of disinfectant and 12,000 gallons of water, prevented diseases like swine flu and African swine fever, ensuring the farm's long-term viability. Post-storm disinfection helped farmers safeguard the pork supply chain and their operations' future. Without proper execution, farms risked losing livestock and closing due to contamination. This documentary showcases the rigorous disinfection process that overcame the storm's aftermath and averted future hardships. Share this documentary to let friends know about the farmers' efforts in flood-ravaged areas. After the disaster, vaccinating pigs was a critical step to protect against disease. Pigs were vaccinated against swine flu, African swine fever, porcine circovirus, and leptospirosis, as these pathogens spread rapidly in unsanitary post-flood environments. Vaccines must meet veterinary standards, typically inactivated or attenuated live vaccines approved by health authorities. Vaccination schedules vary by region, with local environmental factors playing a key role. In Iowa, farmers prioritize respiratory disease vaccines like swine flu due to humid climates. Nebraska focuses on leptospirosis because of flooding. These measures help pigs recover quickly, ensuring farm stability. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe to support our channel. See you next time. Hello everyone. The U.S. cattle industry, with 93 million head, drives an $8 billion beef export market. But what makes it tick? Step inside a modern processing plant where cutting-edge machinery produces premium beef. How do these systems create world-class meat? Have you ever seen a high-tech processing plant in action? Drop a comment with the number 1 and let's explore the power of this beef industry together. The U.S. beef journey began in the 1850s when iconic Great Plains cowboys herded cattle across vast prairies near Dodge City. By 1900, exports hit 500 tons, fueling trade. Today, per the U.S. Beef Association, the $8.5 billion industry thrives in Texas, where processing plants use AI-controlled robots, cutting production time by 25% and ensuring precision for global markets. The blend of cowboy heritage and cutting-edge tech captivates me. Inside an Amarillo processing plant, the technology is stunning. AI-controlled robots handle beef with 12% less waste, while cryogenic freezers at 145 degrees Celsius lock in flavor in seconds. A 2023 Texas A&M study shows these systems outperform manual methods by 20%, meeting USDA export standards. Laser-guided systems process 120 cuts per minute with surgical precision, as seen in plant footage. What food tech have you encountered? This precision underpins U.S. economic strength, as we'll explore next. The U.S. beef industry, bolstered by processing plants, sustains 200,000 jobs and generated $9 billion from 1.2 million tons of exports in 2024, per the USDA. Lower labor costs yield 15% higher profits than Canada, but the EU's 20% tariffs curb growth. Brazil's 1.5 million tons of exports, driven by larger ranches, heighten competition. How do global trade policies impact your farmers? Ground-level stories reveal the human side of this economic machine. In Nebraska, I met Tom, a third-generation rancher whose herd shrank 8% during the 2022 disease outbreak. The processing plant's biosecurity protocols saved my livelihood, he said, his gaze steady. Sarah, a quality inspector at the Amarillo plant, endures 10-hour shifts to ensure beef meets export standards. Their resilience fuels America's beef legacy. What agricultural challenges have you faced? But environmental challenges threaten these plants. Cattle farming accounts for 14% of global methane emissions, and a ton of beef requires 12,000 gallons of water, according to a 2024 USDA report. Animal rights groups cited by the New York Times have pushed for humane handling, leading to plants adopting low-stress cages and 45% renewable energy. Progress has been slow, leaving plenty of room for improvement. Do you have a better solution? If so, leave a comment with number 2. Otherwise, leave a comment with number 5. Walking through a Fort Worth processing plant last year, I was struck by the robotic arms that processed 110 pieces per minute. Their hum like a modern symphony. The machines speed things up, said Mike, a 12-year veteran, but my inspections ensure quality. His pride reflected the human heart of the high-tech system. Have you ever been to a manufacturing facility? Share your story. Rigorous safety standards add to the reputation of these plants. U.S. processing plants regulated by the USDA achieved 99% compliance in 2024 inspections. Automated scanners have reduced the risk of contamination by 35% since 2020, ensuring 2 million pounds of beef exported each month are safe, according to industry reports. But workers like Mike need better training to safely operate high-speed equipment. What food safety measures are important to you? Looking ahead, innovation promises brighter prospects. U.S. processing plants combining heritage and technology produce 1.2 million tons of high-quality beef each year. By 2030, IoT sensors could reduce costs by another 8%. Environmental and ethical challenges remain, but stories like Tom and Mike's show resilience. What's next for beef production? Like and subscribe to join our community to learn more. Hello friends, today we will visit poultry farms in the United States to see how the process of raising millions of poultry takes place on vast pastures. Nowadays, chickens are the most commonly raised poultry on pastures in the U.S. Additionally, duck, turkey, and quail farms are also quite prevalent on pastures in some states with large agricultural land areas such as California, Iowa, Nebraska, Texas, or Minnesota. Leave comment number 1 to explore this page together. According to USDA statistics, as of the end of 2021, there were approximately 750 million poultry in the United States, with chickens being the largest group accounting for about 68% of the total poultry population, followed by turkeys at 24%, and ducks making up only 0.05% of the total poultry raised in the country. Currently, the majority of poultry in the U.S. are raised in industrial farms, with only 8% raised free-range on pastures. This is a duck farm in Tipton County, Indiana, home to over 250 ducks. The ducks on this farm are raised for egg harvesting. Each day, hundreds of ducks are herded out to a pasture spanning more than 5 acres next to the farm, where they can freely forage for food and small insects. According to USDA statistics, in 2021, there were approximately 300 duck farms operating in Indiana, with a total duck population of about 25 million in the state. Notably, Cova Farm in the town of Middlebury is the largest, housing over 10 million ducks. Similar to other states in the U.S., most ducks in Indiana are raised in enclosed barns, with only about 20 farms in the state, allowing ducks to be raised free-range on pastures. In addition to the food ducks can forage on, the pasture workers at this farm also supplement their daily diet with feed pellets and grains to enhance their egg-laying capacity. With a well-balanced diet, free-range ducks can lay approximately 270 to 290 eggs per year. In contrast, commercially raised ducks in industrial farms can lay up to 340 eggs per year. Since there are no ponds or small lakes around the farm, water tubs are used to bathe the hundreds of ducks. Bathing and cleaning the ducks every afternoon is crucial to help them relax and increase egg production. Each morning after the ducks are herded out to the pasture, workers at this farm collect eggs, harvesting approximately 220 eggs per day. After visiting the duck farm in Indiana, we will head to a turkey farm in Minnesota to see how hundreds of turkeys are raised here. After inspection, turkeys that meet the standards will leave this farm to start a new life. Aside from being slightly larger, newly hatched turkeys are not much different from chicks, and their care is quite similar. These are 3-week-old turkeys, and the hundreds of turkeys here will be raised in barns for 2 months before they are allowed to forage freely on the pasture. Currently, there are about 2,300 turkey farms operating in the United States, and Minnesota is the state with the largest number of turkey farms in the country, with approximately 600 farms. Do you find this interesting? If so, leave comment number 2. If not, leave number 5. After about 2 months of age, hundreds of turkeys at this farm will be released to freely forage for insects. According to USDA statistics from early 2022, there were approximately 210 million turkeys nationwide, with about 40 million of them raised in Minnesota. Currently, only 8% of turkeys in the United States are raised free-range. This is another turkey farm in Minnesota, home to about 600 black turkeys. Nowadays, farm-raised turkeys typically weigh between 28 and 38 pounds when fully grown, while the maximum weight of wild turkeys is only about 14 to 19 pounds. In the late afternoon, hundreds of turkeys are herded into barns to rest and protect them from predators like foxes or bobcats. This is what happens when turkeys reach the age for meat harvesting. They are caught by workers and transported to turkey processing plants. According to 2021 statistics, approximately 44 million turkeys are slaughtered for Thanksgiving, 20 million for Christmas, and 18 million for Easter in the United States. Additionally, about 310,000 turkeys are slaughtered daily across the country. Alexander Hamilton, the first U.S. Treasury Secretary, once said that no U.S. citizen would dislike eating turkey on Thanksgiving, and this has now become a reality. The next destination in this video is a free-range chicken farm in Iowa, the state with the largest chicken population in the country, with over 58 million chickens. This is what's happening inside the chicken barn. More than 850 chicks will be raised here for 3 weeks before they are moved to the pasture. Currently, there are about 180,000 chicken farms operating in the United States, and only about 12% of them are free-range chicken farms. These are 2-week-old chicks, and in about 10 days, they will be moved to the pasture to start a new life. All the chickens on this farm are raised for meat harvesting, so their diet differs from that of farms raising chickens for eggs. Approximately 88% of the feed for the chickens here consists of cornmeal and peas. After about 3 weeks, workers will catch and place hundreds of these chickens into cages before transferring them to the pasture. At this pasture, mobile chicken coops have been prepared to welcome the new members. Each coop like this can hold 50 chickens, and they will live here until they are ready for meat harvesting. Because they can move freely each day, the meat quality of the chickens from this farm is always preferred over that of chickens confined for their entire lives. In addition to broiler chicken farms, the United States has about 3,200 free-range chicken farms dedicated to egg harvesting. Naturally, eggs from these farms are significantly more expensive than those from caged chicken farms. Each year, the U.S. produces 95 billion eggs, with approximately 10 billion of them coming from free-range farms. It is estimated that each American consumes about 285 eggs per year, and this number is projected to increase to 287 eggs per year by the end of 2023. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Please support our channel with a like and subscribe. Goodbye, and see you in the next video. Peafowl are considered one of the most captivating bird species on the planet. But did you know that peacock refers only to the male? The proper name for the species is peafowl, with males called peacocks, females called peahens, and young ones called peachicks. These vibrant birds originate from India, Sri Lanka, and parts of the Congo, but they've now charmed their way onto farms worldwide. As youngsters, peafowl sport dull feathers, but by age 2, the males flaunt their dazzling plumage to woo mates. Curious why farmers are obsessed with raising peafowl? Drop comment number 1 to find out. Among rare breeds, the white peafowl, a unique genetic variant of the Indian blue peafowl, stuns onlookers with its ethereal beauty. With their allure and uniqueness, peafowl, especially rare varieties, are prized gems in agriculture and the ornamental bird trade. In India, states like Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu lead the way, with farms raising over 50,000 peafowl annually. Young peafowl take 2 years to develop their vibrant plumage, making them a treasure in the commercial feather industry. However, is it true that India still has wild Indian blue peafowl populations, or are they all farm-raised? To turn a peafowl farm into a gold mine in India, you need a smart plan and ideal conditions. Seasoned farmers advise that each bird requires at least 80 square feet of space with 5 to 6 foot high fences to keep them from making a break for it. Space is critical, shares. Mr. Sharma, a peafowl breeding expert from Rajasthan, cramped quarters stress the birds, dulling their shimmering feathers. Enclosures need wooden perches for weather protection, and in winter, heat lamps are a lifesaver to keep their delicate feet warm. Peafowl love to party with a protein-rich diet of grains, insects, small reptiles, and fish. The secret of seasoned farmers, add earthworms for extra feather sparkle. Want to try raising these stunning peacocks? If yes, drop comment number 2. If not, go with number 5. The peafowl feather processing industry in India is booming with high-quality feathers, fetching premium prices, proving that a well-run farm can be both sustainable and highly profitable. Indian farmers see peafowl farming as a gold mine compared to traditional poultry. Unlike chickens or ducks raised mainly for meat and eggs, peafowl captivate the market with their mesmerizing beauty, rarity, and deep cultural value. Peafowl are not just birds, they're valuable assets. Their stunning feathers, naturally shed annually, are sought after for interior decor, fashion, handicrafts, and sacred rituals. Beyond that, live peafowl are stars coveted by zoos, resorts, collectors, and amusement parks. With soaring demand in the feather processing industry, farmers realize that while peafowl care is labor-intensive, the long-term profits far surpass those of conventional poultry farming. To ensure efficient breeding and top-quality feathers, Indian farmers apply advanced hybridization technology to peafowl farms. During mating season, male peacocks display their vibrant plumage, performing mesmerizing, quivering dances to woo mates. Each clutch, peahens lay 4 to 6 eggs cleverly hidden in the ground or tall grass. While natural incubation takes 26 to 29 days, modern farms use temperature-controlled incubators to boost hatching rates. After hatching, peachicks rely on their mother for warmth and survival skills. By 2 to 3 years, male peacocks develop their iconic tail feathers, ready for harvesting at feather processing plants. With smart breeding strategies, farmers not only extend the lifespan of their peafowl flocks, but also ensure a steady profit stream in this unique industry. Peacock farming in India is a rewarding but challenging venture. These magnificent birds require a nutritious diet of grains, insects, small reptiles, fish, earthworms, and fresh greens to maintain their health and shiny plumage. Farmers have to spend heavily on spacious cages, climate-controlled shelters, and veterinary services, which can add up to a hefty initial cost. Moreover, strict regulations governing the keeping of pet birds can be a legal hurdle. Yet the craze for peacock feathers in fashion, home decor, and religious art is fueling a booming peacock feather industry in India. With proper care, peacocks reach their feather peak at 2 to 3 years of age, making them a hot commodity for collectors, luxury resorts, and wildlife exhibitions. Is this a gold mine or a problem too big to expand? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Meanwhile, AI technology is advancing by leaps and bounds thanks to human hands. But what will happen if factories gradually lose workers? What do you think about this future? Share your views in the comments section of the video, and don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and invite your friends to watch. Thanks, and see you in the next videos.